Welcome to the Lori Davis Show, where it's all about the amazing lifestyle on our Treasure Coast. And here's your host and realtor for life, Lori Davis.
Hello, hello. Welcome to the show. It's so good to have you. Today I have a special engineer in the house. His name is Jesse. And Jesse was part of the new intro. They all said, your intro is too long. And now I feel like I'm just stumbling in the room. It goes so fast. I can't even believe it. I'm like, okay. And now I'm here. So it used to be I get prep, I get music, I kind of tap my Joe. But anyway, it's good. How you doing today, Jess?
Doing great. Yeah, we get right into the show here.
I know, right?
So yeah,
I know.
I'm doing great. How are you, Lori?
I am doing fantastic. I am. It's October, as you know, and Halloween is coming up. It's also National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And there's also a lot of things that are starting to go on in town because people are starting to come back. Those people who go away for the season, you know, for their summer season, and then they come down to spend the best time of year in Vero Beach, which generally is October to April or May. So we're happy to have them back. A couple things that we got going on Saturday. Of course, this is live streamed today on Tuesday. For my Sunday guests, we do have Halloween on Monday, so don't worry about that. It's going to be tomorrow. But on Saturday, they're doing the 62nd annual Halloween Day Parade and Costume Contest. This is downtown Vero Beach. 62 years. I mean, I think that's a long time. I think it's pretty cool. And most of these things, like the Christmas parade on Beachside down Ocean Drive, is a slice of Americana. Have you ever seen this, Jesse?
I have, yeah. I'm sorry.
The Halloween
my mic
thing?
on. Yeah. I haven't seen the Halloween one, but the Christmas celebration is amazing.
It's amazing. It's so cool. Well, they're doing it. It starts at 10 a.m. You line up in your car. So people are decorating cars and floats and whatever. Mm-hmm. And then it goes north on 14th Avenue and it ends at the community center. So it's going to be by day, which will be nice. Everybody will be in their costumes and all sweaty. And but they have a contest for kids from 0 to 17 years old, and every kid's going to get some kind of little goodie bag. Which
that's great.
I didn't know about. I didn't know about the Christmas. I mean, the Halloween parade. It's going to be another one of my additions. Maybe I'm out of town this weekend, so I won't be able to see it. But anybody that goes by, get in contact with me. Jesse, if you go by there, let me know.
All right. And when is that?
This is Saturday. That's this coming Saturday.
All right.
It's the 29th.
All right.
And it starts at 10 a.m.
Great.
So you got to line up at 10, and then you can go be in the parade. I think people like to be in a parade, you know? I mean, you can push. There are people with little wagons pulling their children. You know, this is not a sophisticated thing. It can be whatever you want it to be. I'm sure there are going to be people pushing grocery carts, decorated, stuff like that. You can do whatever you like. So I think it's a good thing. It's just a slice of Vero. It's so simple, and yet it's so pure, and that's what makes our town so unique. And this is Indian River County. This is run by Indian River County. So those are the people that are putting this together. And again, it doesn't cost anything to be in the parade. For my Sunday people, the pumpkin patch is still open today, Sunday. That's over at the Church of Christ. It's on Route 60 between 33rd and 34th. So they're there. I'm not sure how many pumpkins they'll have left by then, but if you need one, they're still open right up until Sunday evening. Farmers Market on Saturday mornings, we know that. Riverside Theater has this free music in the loop on Fridays and Saturdays. Have you ever done that, Jesse?
No, I have not, unfortunately.
It's okay. So I was driving by there the other weekend, and people just put their chairs. I mean, some people are across the street in the parking lot still. But it's free music in the loop, and it's prior to, and I think they have like food trucks and drinks that you could buy, whatever. Most people are bringing a cooler, and it's for pre-theater. So it's just, but if you don't go to the theater, you can at least enjoy the music. And that starts at 5 p.m. and it's both Friday and Saturday night. It goes until I think 7 o'clock when the doors open for the theater, which is the first performance of their comedy show. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah. I know. There's a lot. There's going to be a lot more things going on. This part of the segment's going to take a little longer every week. I mean, anyway, thank you, Chef Scott. We have our cocktail in the house is our guest's favorite, one of the favorites that he makes. It's called the Bee's Knees, and it tastes like the bee's knees. It's so good. This is gin with lemonade and club soda with a beautiful garnish. It's absolutely wonderful. It's still a little warm out, so this is actually quite refreshing. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Chef Scott. Citrus Grill House, we love you guys. Go visit them at 1050 Easter Lily Lane. They're right there on the ocean next to Humiston Park. They do lunch and dinner Monday to Saturday. Fabulous stuff. He's just put some new stuff on the lunch menu. You got to go over there and check it out. At dinner time, he put on a crab cake that I had last night with my friend Tracy. Shout out to Tracy Zudance. It was amazing. So go over and see them. Tell them Lori Davis sent you. They'll be happy to see you. Dale Sorensen Real Estate by the numbers, real quick. With year to date, $732 million, 1,133 transactions. And we had that it equates to 20.2% of the market share here in Indian River County. This is Indian River County only. We do go St. Lucie County. We are also in Brevard. But the next closest competitor, closest broker, this is by broker, is $286 million, 421 transactions, and 7.9% market share. What that tells you is we're doing something right. We think we do a great job. We're trying really hard for our clients, both buyers and sellers. So we appreciate your business. We really do. And I hope if you need a realtor, you'll call me, Lori Davis. I'll be happy to take care of you. I'll be your realtor for life. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month and the annual campaign to increase awareness of the disease. That's what the purpose of this month is. The goal is to get as many people involved in raising awareness and funds to help support life-saving research and life-changing support. Spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about breasts on this show. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So, and guys, don't turn off the dial because men can get breast cancer too. Our guest's father had it. So you might want to stay around and listen to what's going on. Our guest today is a local concierge doctor. She's a mother, she's a wife, and she's one of the smartest women I know. Let's introduce Dr. Nancy Baker. Yay! Get the clap! Woohoo! Good to have you here, Nancy.
It's my pleasure.
Every October, it's something that we do.
Yeah.
Because it's very, very important.
Yes.
And tell us why it's so important to you.
So for me personally, it's important because as you said, my dad had breast cancer. Our family has a BRCA mutation gene, which is high risk for breast and ovarian cancer. And I had a mastectomy in 2008. So I've personally been affected by the disease. I also have a daughter. And so one of the things that when you raise awareness about any sort of illness is you get funds. And that's kind of putting your money where your mouth is, where research happens and cures can happen. And so one of the ways that I participate in Breast Cancer Awareness Month is by being a part of our local American Cancer Society, and they're making strides against breast cancer walk, which happened last Saturday. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a really great cause. You know, the American Cancer Society is funds a lot of research. In fact, the drug Herceptin was primarily funded by research from the American Cancer Society, and that's something that we use every day for breast cancer treatment now. The other thing about the American Cancer Society, especially the local chapters, is that there's a lot of money that stays here and helps our local patients get to and from chemo visits, helps them get a wig, helps them, survive the things that you have to do to survive cancer.
Right.
And so it's a really great organization. I'm a real fan, and I've been participating since before my kids were born. So 18 or 19 years now. So
yeah, right.
Like when you say that loud, I'm like, it's a long time.
It seems like a long time.
But yeah, my father was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2003. And prior to that, one of my dear friends, Dr. Barrett, she was a breast surgeon here in town, ironically.
Yes.
She had breast cancer and she was in my wedding. I mean, we are very close friends, and she was really young. She was in her 20s when she was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Wow. So it's been around you.
Well, I'm also a doctor.
That's true. That's true.
I do diagnose people with breast conditions, and I do treat people with breast conditions. I also teach at the medical school, and I'm part of the sort of core of the doctors there that help bring this information to our next generation of physicians at the med school.
Yeah. Where is the med school? What is the med school? What is it?
Okay, so it's a regional campus of Florida State University's College of Medicine. So we have our mothership in Tallahassee.
Yes.
And then Tallahassee's medical school is a distributive model med school. So when you look at the pie of patients that are treated, only 1 out of 1,000 patients are treated in a hospital setting. And so when you really want to learn what a doctor does or how a doctor does something, if you're not training them in an office setting, you're not training them. Right. And so this is a different model, more of an apprenticeship model. And a lot of our students have one-to-one teaching, like one doctor, one student.
Yes.
And so we have 6 regional campuses and 2 rural campuses. So 8 campuses that are sort of all over the place. I mean, we have one in Georgia, which is in Thomasville.
Okay.
And then we have one in Immokalee, which is this little tiny place on the middle of Florida.
Yep.
And then, Sarasota, Daytona Beach. So there's 6, and there's one in Fort Pierce.
Right.
And so each campus has a doctor in charge of providing education for each department. So I'm in charge of the family medicine department for our campus.
Very
locally.
good. That's amazing. Not like you don't have enough to do with your own practice that you take care of, and then teaching, and then doing, the breast cancer awareness and all that kind of stuff. American Cancer Society. Now, I had read, because I was on the American Cancer, the breast cancer awareness, that breast cancer is the most common cancer in women worldwide. Is that true?
That is true.
Yeah. So, what I want to know about is, I think that the people that we're missing a lot of people. There are a lot of people that are not being diagnosed. There are, and it's not, it's how do we get to those people? How do we help those people? I did not know that the Cancer Society here helps with cars and wigs and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. How do we get to those people that are falling through the cracks, let's say? So
the biggest disparity, we call those health disparities when we're teaching about them. The biggest disparity has to be from African-American women. Yes. They tend to have disease diagnosed later stages and less cure rates because they don't have trust of their physician or the system in general. And that's societal, and that's going back years and years with lots of other situations like the Tuskegee Airmen and Henrietta Lacks and things like that. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that is very helpful is just talking with your friends and family and encouraging them to get a mammogram. Right. Just say, have you been screened? Just with any other screening test, the best way to find something is to actually look for it. Yeah. And so you can't sort of put your head in the ground and say, oh, well, it's not going to affect me, because unfortunately it might. And you don't necessarily have to have a cancer gene like I do to have breast cancer. Like my friend, the surgeon, she doesn't have a breast cancer gene, and she had cancer in her 20s. Right. And there are lots of women who, the most common presentation of breast cancer is that a person finds a lump themselves. Right. It's not found by the doctor. Right. I mean, occasionally I'll find something because I know what I'm looking for. Right. But overwhelmingly, when people they come to me and say, I found a lump. Right. And I would prefer to find things before, find a mammogram that's slightly abnormal, cut something out, cure it, be done with it, than have, stage 2, stage 3 disease that could kill someone. Right. Now, the numbers in terms of survivability of this disease have improved dramatically because of the Pink October movement, because more awareness. Yes. So if you look at survivability in the 1980s and look at survivability in 2022, it's night and day different. I mean, it's been 40 years. So there's a lot of technology that's different, a lot of screening that's different, but truly a lot of the other stuff is just, we're better at treating it. We're better at finding it. Yeah. One of the things about people tell me, oh, there's so much more cancer now. I'm like, well, we're looking better. We're better at finding it. Yes. And so, it's not, I don't think that there's an increased incidence in disease. I think where there's an increased awareness of disease. And if you catch something at a stage 1, you're likely to cure that person and that be done with it. Right. Versus, finding something when it's spread everywhere and you just have to get your affairs in order or something like that. Correct. So Correct. Awareness in general in medicine is the best way to go. In fact, we talk about prevention in primary care, which is what I teach. Mm-hmm. And the best prevention is primary prevention, which is you never get the disease. We screen you for it, and we mitigate risk, or we do things to prevent that disease from ever happening. Mm-hmm. So there are things that you can do physically, like exercising and eating a low-fat diet and, those type of things that help with preventing breast cancer, because a healthy diet, they have shown, that kind of thing. That helps. Was one of my questions, because it's like breast health, but there's a health, and if you're healthy as a person with a good, healthy diet, and exercise. Yep. So diet and exercise matter just from a basic standpoint, but there's also data that they help with decreasing the incidence of cancer. And then there's other things like getting your regular mammograms. If you've ever had a breast biopsy, even if it's a benign breast biopsy, you're more likely to have cancer. So not letting yourself go a year, wait, try and get your screening done regularly. And one of the bigger problems that we've had with the global pandemic was that we lost a lot of people to screening follow-up because they were afraid to go to the doctor because they were afraid they'd catch COVID. Mm-hmm. And so now we're playing catch up on a lot of people where there was something that may have been there in 2020 and they haven't looked for it in 2 years. And that's not good. No. We can't lose 2 years of that. Well, we have. So now we're playing catch up. We got to catch up. We got to catch up. Yeah. One of the things, so for people like someone who just can they just go get a mammogram? So they can be self-referred.
Okay.
But to have, sometimes you need, like, your insurance might want you to have a referral or something like that. But generally you can go and request a self-referral, and they have a Mamo van, I believe, that the VNA has. Like they have, like, there are outreach ways of getting things both done and also paid for. So there are, you know, charities that will help chip in and pay for things if it's something that's not feasible. I mean, ideally you want everyone screened.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. And do we have organizations in town that are reaching out to those communities that we know that are where women are not doing this?
So I don't know the answer to that, but I would, if I had to guess, I would say that Vicki Soulé at Treasure Coast Community Health is on top of this, because she's on top of a lot of other things, and TCCH does a ton of outreach.
Say that slowly. What is it called? Treasure
Coast Community Health.
Okay.
And that is our local federally funded clinic that captures a lot of the patients that meet charity care and or, you know, reduced care fees, that kind of thing, Medicaid. And TCCH has a number of clinics around town, and my charity We Care is now partnered with them. We were operating out of the health department, but a lot of our patients, nobody goes to the health department for primary care anymore because it's shifted to the TCCH doctors.
Yes.
And so we recently rehoused We Care in TCCH, which is where our patients are.
Right.
And so I've come to know that system a little bit better, and they're wonderful at outreach. So I don't know the answer to that, but if I had to guess, and I would say that more than likely they are, and I know that, you know, there's the American Cancer Society has had, you know, stuff on Facebook and stuff out there in doctors' offices. Yeah. The problem is capturing the people that aren't going to the doctor and aren't on social media.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. So that's why, you know, if we're playing on a Sunday at 4 o'clock, people might be sitting around, you know, having a barbecue, sitting outside thinking, honey, have you had that mammogram? You know, and it's true. And if you can't, go to the Treasure Coast Community Health. That would be great. Yeah. All right. We need to take a break right now. We need to place for the show with a couple of commercials. We'll be right back after this with Dr. Nancy Baker.
Don't miss the Sebastian Clam Bake, November 4th, 5th, and 6th. The Sebastian Clam Bake, known for high-quality food like linguine with clam sauce, succulent shrimp, clam chowders, steamed clams, and traditional festival food. Plus, historical reenactments, a kids zone, and some of the area's best bands, demonstrations, and vendor booths. Take a stroll by the river, enjoy fresh seafood. Admission is free. The Sebastian Clam Bake, November 4th, 5th, and 6th, by the river, next to Riverview Park. Details at sebastianclambake.net.
At Compass Pest Control, we focus on killing pests where they live and breed by terminating them outside your home or office before they can get in. Hi, I'm Chris Hudman, co-owner of Compass Pest Control. We prevent roaches, ants, and other pests from getting inside with a proactive approach. We don't stop there. We also offer lawn and plant health programs. And we'll never sell you something you don't need. At Compass Pest Control, our prices are competitive, your satisfaction is guaranteed. Get a free estimate. Visit CompassPests.com.
Dr. Stephen Tate offers the safest and most efficient technique for customized cataract surgery. Patients are personally counseled on the best approach for their needs and lifestyle. From multifocal lenses that allow for distance and reading vision to toric lenses that correct astigmatism, let New Vision Eye Center guide you safely through your options. For world-class eye care on the Treasure Coast, visit newvisioneyecenter.com.
I love that I can sit in my car and wait for my appointment to renew my driver's license. No more lines, no hassle. Hey, I made my appointment online and it's going to alert me when it's my turn. Gotta go.
Hello, I'm Carol Jean Jordan, your tax collector here in Indian River County. To help you get in and out faster, we are introducing our new customer service system. Here, you can make appointments, check in remotely, or choose to wait in your car or in our lobbies. You can access this system through our website, irctax.com, and we look forward to seeing you.
Hi, guys. We are back with a couple of great little listings here with Dale Sorensen Real Estate. One of the first ones we have is up at Sea Oaks. Now, Sea Oaks is a ocean to river community. They have a wonderful tennis program. Actually, I played there this morning, and we won our match, so it was very exciting. I was very pumped about that. Anyway, this one is it's a little home. It's about 2,000 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. Really not little. It's on Ivy Court. This is beautiful. It's got a beautiful cottagey style is what it is. A beautiful glassed-in porch. The kitchen has beautiful countertops. It's wonderful. This one is listed for fireplace, beam ceilings, paver brick patio. The outside area around the cottage is actually very beautiful as well. This one is listed for $795,000. Great little property. The next one we have is over at Riverwind. Now, Riverwind is on the mainland. It's there off Indian River Boulevard. So it's over in the area by Grand Harbor. Most people know where Grand Harbor is. This is a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath pool home. Absolutely gorgeous pool. Beautiful. It's actually got a little bit of a lake behind it, which I think is gorgeous. I think people like to look at the water. Even if you're just looking at your pool, it's always nice to be able to look at the water. This one is a corner lot, great community. The clubhouse, they have a big social area. They're active. They've got a workout facility there. So in your HOAs, you would be able to use that facility. So there's some savings there. This is listed for $899,000. Great house, beautiful concrete block built in 2005. Just an amazing home. If you're interested in buying or selling real estate, you know who to call. Me, Lori Davis, at 772-538-1828, and I will be your realtor for life. I was actually Nancy Baker's realtor, too.
Yes.
I did.
She's my realtor for life.
It does work. It worked.
I know.
It was great. It was great. So getting back to, and we were just talking about and I think a lot of people are hearing this about diet and cancer. Like, now you got cancer. The doctor uses the C word.
Right.
You're sitting in this room and all of a sudden your head starts to swoon. Let's start with, who would you call? Is there...
So... First of all, when you diagnose someone with cancer, the first thing you really need to make sure is that they actually hear you and process it. Because sometimes it turns into the Peanuts family where like the mom's like, wah, 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 and they don't have any processing whatsoever. So once I make sure that they actually are still with me, we talk about general health things because having cancer requires a lot of steps for us to try and make it better. Mm-hmm. Cancer is something that is pretty common nowadays. And it's one of those things where we're finding it earlier. So sometimes, you need to give people hope and say, look, this is easily curable. It's going to suck. That's usually what I tell people. Yeah. This year's going to suck. Right.
And that's exactly what she says.
Oh, I know, 100%.
She does not cut. She just gives it to you straight up.
You just say, okay, well, we're going to have to do some difficult things, but you can do hard things. And at the other side of it, you're going to have more years.
Right.
And so, part of the piece of that is getting, an oncologist and a surgeon and all of those things. And then there's stuff that, like, what do you have control over? What is your sphere of influence over? And you can do things for self-care, like, see a counselor if you need a counselor. You can, do meditation. You can have a special diet like you talked about. I mean, there's a lot of press about low sugar diets or anti-inflammatory diets. And, I tell people, try it out and see if you feel good.
Right.
There's no scientific, it's not a standard of practice.
It's not.
But it's something that I'm definitely a fan of if you're going to be mindful to see how you feel and if just something you have control over.
Right.
Sometimes that's a very helpful piece of the puzzle is because you don't have control in these other things. You can control, well, I'm going to do this diet and see how I feel.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. And I think, too, you mentioned like the American Cancer Society.
Yes.
Locally, right?
Yeah.
There's somebody you could call locally, have a chat, sit down with somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's lots of resources that they can connect you to. There's a place here in town called the McCabe Connection Center for Counseling, which is a counseling clearinghouse for things, if someone needs a counselor, you can call there and they will say, okay, what's your insurance and what is your problem? A mental health counselor answers the phone and they get you connected. That's perfect. Like, a lot of times I'm routing people to, a counselor for this type of thing. A lot of people seek solace in their faith and they go to, their rabbi or their priest or whatever. Right. And those are all valid things. You just got to do what you need to do to survive.
That's good. That's good. There's so many things we can talk about, but I always appreciate every year when you come back and chat with us because I think every year we need that's the awareness part of it.
Yeah.
We can't forget about it. We need to keep doing it. Guys, the thing I also want to remind you is men can also get breast cancer. Please check yourself, right?
Yeah.
They need to be checking just like everybody else. Nancy Baker, thank you so much for coming to the show. We love having you on.
Thanks, Lori.
Maybe I'll do it every 6 months instead of a year. I think that would be great.
We can talk about other stuff.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Thank you so much for coming. Be safe out there, guys. We'll see you next week. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.